Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. And based on some of my other videos, I know that a good amount of you are beginner skaters. In fact, you actually might have started skateboarding because of my channel. And from being a complete beginner to skateboarding not too long ago myself, I know just how embarrassing it can feel when you hit the skate park and everybody there is better than you. And you just resort to awkwardly practicing ollies in the corner and hoping that everybody forgets that you exist. Or when you try to cross the street and a bunch of cars are watching you and you just end up falling on your face because of a pebble. And although you shouldn't care what people think about you, you still do. And experiences like this can ultimately result in you not enjoying skateboarding as much as you could be. So that's why I decided to make this video today to help any of you that are just starting out, getting stuck on your path of progression, or if you already have a few tricks down and you just want to spruce up your skateboarding with a bit more style and overall have more confidence and be more comfortable on your skateboard. So without taking up any more time, let's jump right into it. Number 1, posture and balance. One of the most telltale signs that somebody is a beginner is just in their stance and an overall balance on their board. And it's something that you just can't fake. Aside from looking a bit funny on your skateboard, having improper posture and balance on your board can slow down your progression and can make it hard to learn basic tricks. Basically, what you want to do is have your feet be roughly on the bolts of your skateboard when you're typically riding, your head looking in front of you to where you want to go, your shoulders square with your hips, and probably most importantly, having your knees bent and having your center of gravity be low. In my opinion, the best way to train your posture and balance on your skateboard is by riding uneven surfaces. It's just pushing around on a pump track, going up and down on ramps, or even learning how to pump in a bowl. And also by taking your skateboarding to the streets and getting used to going over cracks and pebbles and learning how to take on obstacles like that. And a small little mini tip for all of you to avoid getting absolutely bodied by small cracks and pebbles is to have your back foot be a bit further up on your tail and having roughly 40% front and 60% back weight distribution on your board. And once you get a bit better, you can even ollie over stuff like that. But once you get the basics down, the best way to really stand out is by going faster and just compressing your body more as you skate. Which leads me on to number 2. Create a line that you skate. This is a tip for those people that already have a bit of experience skating and can do basic tricks but still feel like they don't have enough style in their skateboarding. Anyway, the ultimate way to bring more style into your skateboarding is skateboarding with more flow. As in, don't skate from point A to point B. Like as an example, you drop in and then you hit a rail. Instead, skate from point A to point B to C to D, back to C to B, and then all the way back to A. Basically, work on creating a line that you skate. Even if all that you do is just carve left and right and maybe do a rock fakie on a mini ramp, you are still creating a line. And when you eventually get better, you can add more steps to your line and do it with more speed and return back to A, ideally without even having to push. This is also a great way to learn new tricks while not forgetting your old tricks. If you start your line out with, let's say, a drop-in or maybe an ollie or something else that you already can do pretty consistently, and you can just keep adding new tricks that you want to learn to the end of your line. And this is actually the way that Nigel Houston learned his tricks, and the reason for why he's so consistent in his skateboarding today. Aside from generally improving your skateboarding skills, getting a line down makes you look a lot more confident and accomplished on your skateboard. And while sure, you might still blow a particular trick that you're working on, doing it all the way when you get back to A makes it look like you care a lot less about it, while at the same time improving your confidence every time you successfully pass B and C and D, where you can get more aggressive or smooth, or ideally both at the same time. Number 3, loosen your trucks. This is something that I think that most people should do practically right off the bat. And although it will seem hard to skate with loose trucks at first, it will only take you a session or two to totally get used to it. Now, why do I recommend loosening your trucks? I mean, after all, it increases your chance of getting wheel bite, it's harder to balance, and it's less forgiving if you don't land perfectly on your board. Well, overall, having looser trucks just makes your skateboarding style seem a bit different in a good way. You'll have more flow and it's a bit easier to turn your board. And I feel like a lot of beginners over-tighten their trucks because they think it'll be easier to learn ollies or kickflips or whatever, when in reality all it does is open the opportunity for bad habits to form. And because you skate with looser trucks, you'll be forced to be more precise with your balance and foot placement, and overall it'll just make you a better skater and also add a bit more style to your skateboarding. Number 4, learn how to stop, push, put down, and pick up your board. Now realistically, these are some of the first things you should be learning, period, even before an ollie. Because trust me, if you're going faster than you're comfortable with, there's pretty much no way that you're outrunning the speed of your board. Ask me how I know. But also, learning how to not look goofy when pushing your board or picking it up will overall help you not look like a beginner even if you are one. But instead of spending all of your energy worrying about what people think of your skateboarding, you should instead be putting that into learning skating. So I'm not going to go into HDs too much, but I'm sure you can find tutorials for this stuff online somewhere else on YouTube. Number 5, dress in skateboarding attire. Now by this, I don't mean rep Thrasher every day that you skate or buy out your local Zoomies. In fact, if anything, you should actually avoid wearing brands like Thrasher or stuff from Zoomies because, first off, real skaters don't wear Thrasher, and number 2, you probably will end up looking more like a poser or a clown than whatever you think a skateboarder actually looks like. Instead, what I mean by this is, most importantly, wear some shoes that are actually made for skateboarding. There's a list of links in the description if you don't know what to look for. And for clothes, honestly, just wear whatever you already have for the most part. When you're a beginner, you're going to be falling a lot, ripping pants and sometimes shirts, and getting everything dirty and also smelly from your sweat. So it doesn't make too much sense to go all out and buy a bunch of new clothes just for skating. Instead, focus on wearing something light, something that lets you move freely, and hopefully something that's somewhat durable. And once you get better, you might find yourself skating in some drip because wearing cool clothes does in fact make you feel like you're skating better and will give you more confidence, but this isn't something that you should really spend too much time worrying about, especially if you're just starting out. But if you have a bit of experience or just want some cool skate clothes, check out some of my own early access merch, links in the description down below. Number 6, set goals for yourself and achieve them. Skateboarding can really be whatever you want it to be, but if you're trying to get better and learn new tricks, it's important to set goals for what you want to accomplish during the session. It could be something as simple as being able to manual across the entire parking lot or the skate park, to as complex as wanting to learn a brand new trick that you've never tried before. It's really up to you for how hard or how high you want to set your goals. What I like to do and what I recommend you guys do is separate your bigger goals into smaller goals that you can work on. For example, if my goal for the entire year of 2021 is to put out a skateboarding part, then I break it down to smaller goals for each month, to just get better at rail tricks, or go out and do more street skating. And then for each week I break it down to individual tricks such as learning lip slides or learning crook grinds. And then for each session I have lists of tricks to warm up with that are easy and I already know, just basically mess around and have fun, get warmed up. And then I set a goal before or after I do that for what I want to learn or practice that day. For example, if you want to improve your training skating, then just practice that all day. Or maybe you just want to learn a new trick, so what you can do is just add it to the end of the line that you're ready to do. Or if you want, you can individually focus on learning or practicing that single trick to have your body build up the muscle memory for it faster. Typically, I don't leave the skate park until I accomplish my goal for the day, so I don't try to set them too big or something that's too unrealistic. But if you slowly work on building up to reach your bigger goals every time you go out and skate, you'll eventually reach and surpass them. And that's ultimately how you get really good at skateboarding. Alright, up next is a speed fire round. I just want to take a bit of time to go over the honorable mentions for things that might make you look like a beginner skater that's not really worth putting into an entire point. So, here we go. First up, mall grabbing. Also known as grabbing your board by the trucks. Just don't do it. It's an inside joke within skateboarding and also makes getting onto your board more difficult, so instead hold it by a nose or just by a side if you're walking somewhere. Mongo pushing, also known as pushing with your front foot. Aside from it being extremely awkward feeling and just looking really funny when you do it, it's for some reason a really common way that beginners push their board. And it also makes you more unstable and you just can't push as fast when pushing Mongo, so just don't do it. Riding switch, also known as riding in the opposite direction than you regularly ride. Switch riding is an essential skateboarding skill that a lot of beginners neglect to learn until it's way too late. So don't be like most other people and try riding around switch for at least 25% of your session. Although you will feel like a complete beginner and a complete brand new noob when you do it, it's a very important skill to learn. Stop dragging the tail of your board on the ground to stop. Just don't do it, it doesn't look cool, and it'll give you mad razor tail. Learn the way that tricks look and what different variations of them are called. This one honestly just takes time, but watching skateboarding videos and maybe like playing Skate 3 or something can help with this one too. Don't be scared to go to a skate park because you think that you'll get made fun of for being new or because you think that people will confuse you with a poser. Skateboarding is largely free from any elitist or a look-down attitude towards other skaters who aren't as good. You can go to any skate park and you can find semi-pros skating alongside newbies who have only been at it for a week or two. We all look like beginners in the early stages, so if you do it for the love of it and not for the image, people will see that before anything else. So just don't worry. Just have fun and people will appreciate that. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching and let me know if you have any other tips for not looking like a beginner. And if you're new, make sure to subscribe because I upload videos like this once a week. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.